Okay, good morning, everybody. Great for you to join right now. We're going to focus on reading one today. So, as we are still in Unit 1 of North Star, Neuroscience and Empathy, today we're going to focus on reading one. So, we're going to review every material and activity that you have already done when you did the video. Yeah, last week you had time to watch the video that I made, and you had time to do the activities while watching the video. And today is your time that you can ask questions, your chance to answer or to share what's on your mind while we're going through every activity, meaning that after the Zoom meeting, reading one is done, means that this week your focus will be the post-study will be reading one. Yeah, remember we have pre-study, and then we have the Zoom meeting, and then we have post-study. Yeah, so after our Zoom meeting, your post-study will be reading one, which you will do in your ebook for reading and writing. You will do the activities under section reading one. There's only one activity. Okay, and for your pre-study this week, which means for your next preparation, your self-study, your pre-study for your next Zoom meeting, that will be listening to. And the video for listening to has already been uploaded on YouTube, and I will share the link with you today. You can also by yourself go into Media Tunas Daud, but I'm also going to share it through the WhatsApp group, so you can also access it through them. Before we continue, guys, I want to ask, are there any questions? Anything that pop up, you know, like, Sylvia, I'm still confused about the homework, and Sylvia, I'm confused about this, that. Please ask me, because while we're doing it through our Zoom meeting, then everybody can listen in, and maybe one question can answer a lot of questions for a lot of people. So now, if, for example, now nothing comes up yet, then you can do that throughout our time through Zoom today. Okay, I'm going to ask you to answer, so be active in sharing. Yeah, this is your time also to learn to, you know, to practice to speak. And this is supposed to come from your answers from what you've done last week while you watched the video. Now, reading one, do mirror neurons give us empathy? Reading one, I also in the video shared about the reading strategies. Well, last year you guys also learned about the reading strategies already, and in the video I reviewed the steps. Yeah, step one of reviewing, predicting type and purpose, and type of text and purpose of the text, and then skimming, and then question analysis, intensive reading, question analysis, scanning. And so I gave a review of that. It's super important that this year you guys really apply that skill in your reading, because it makes you more effective in reading, it makes you faster, and it helps you to be more on topic. So you will be more effective and efficient with time, but also in answering any questions. And since you're grade 12, this is your year of exams, you know, of graduating, your graduating year. So it's important, especially also for Bahasa Inggris Wajib, because you will do a lot of reading, and these strategies are definitely applicable either for elective, your ESL program, or your Wajib program. Okay, vocabulary. Are there any questions about the vocabulary? So far, no? Okay, that brings us here to the first part, which is the vocabulary for reading and writing. As I already also told you in the video, that the vocabulary that you have for the speaking and listening is different for the one from the reading and writing. Yeah, you need to remember that that is a different focus. So last time I think I showed you the vocabulary of listening and speaking. Let me look into it quickly for the reading and writing. That's page 255. We can go there together, or you open your own textbook, because you have your textbook in front of you, right? Now here you see your unit word list. So per unit, they're already written down, all into categorized by unit. So these are the words that you would have to then use in your writing, in your essay. Remember that the vocabulary and the grammar for the unit has to be applied in your writing, in your essay, and in your speaking. Okay, because it's a project. And then the words and grammar for reading and writing are then for your essay, and the words, the vocabulary, and the grammar for listening and speaking are for your speaking test. So don't mix them up, okay? Cool beans. Now, if you go a few pages back, you see the grammar also already categorized for you. Only look at the left column, yeah? So here we see the past on real conditionals. Now, I already in the ebook also gave you a summary of the material. Remember that for your pre-study, you're focusing on the video and the textbook, and then through Zoom we do a review. But then your post-study, which is your ebook, already gives you a summary of all the materials. So I hope that that is really helpful for you. And it might be so that I will add some information. If I see that it is not enough, I will keep adding information into your ebook. And our focus for reading and writing for Unit 1 is the if clauses. Remember those if clauses, the type 0, type 1, type 2, type 3. Yeah? Okay. Now let's go back to the page where we were. Vocabulary. Now, here you have to read the sentences and circle the correct synonyms. So we're looking at synonyms. Now, who can tell me what is a synonym? Anyone that can tell me what a synonym is?
A word with similar meanings to the other word?
Yeah, it's a different word, similar meaning. Very good. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Maybe I can circle, yeah. Okay, awesome. So definitely, synonym is a different word with similar meaning. Yeah, and that is also something that's very important that we use that a lot. The uses of synonyms are very important because we, in academic English, do not want to repeat the same keywords. Yeah, we want to try to always in our writing come up with a different words, not using the same word over and over again. Awesome. Okay, we go to number 1. We humans are good at reading faces and bodies. We can look at someone and feel what the other person is feeling. Empathy is one of our finer traits, and it may be because we have some special wiring in our brains. Now, empathy in this case, what is the correct synonym for empathy? Is it compassion or is it being indifferent? Who can answer that?
Compassion. Compassion.
Compassion, yeah. Can you guys do me a favor and, oh, I'm doing something wrong. Can you do me a favor and raise your hand if you are, what is it? If you want to answer. Yeah, so when you raise your hand, I can see it, so not everybody speaks at the same time. Cool. Okay, number 2. Who wants to answer? Please read the sentence and give the answer. Okay, so wait. So this is funny because 2 people did that. Okay, I'm confused right now. I've never had 2 people raise their hands at the same time, and now I don't see the name. So I only see 2 people raise their hands. Okay, one of you, can you start? I don't know who that is. Okay, number 2. Yeah, go ahead, Lau.
In the past, studying brain functions was difficult because we couldn't look into a living brain. The invention of functional MRIs, or fMRIs, hailed as a major scientific breakthrough, changed all that. And hailed is in this sentences began.
Okay, in this context, well read, Lau. In this context, it means celebrated. It means A. Yeah, so it was hailed as a major, it was celebrated as a major scientific breakthrough. Mostly major scientific breakthroughs are always a huge thing, and they're a positive thing. So it's not only that it began, but it was celebrated or praised. So in this case, hailed means celebrated. So depending on the context. Cool. Stephen, you raised your hand just now. What's up? Stephen? Stephen? No? No answer? I had. Okay.
Miss.
Yeah.
No scientist can conduct research on how the different parts of the brain work. He perform.
Yeah, awesome. Good. Now we go to the next one. Number 4. Okay, there's two. This is funny when two participants raise their hands. So two of you raise your hands at the same time. I don't know who is who, and I'm trying to click it to see who is it that. Oh, here I can see it. Oh gosh, Michelle and Andy. Oh, this is funny. I just know how that works. Okay, Andy, we go with you first. Go ahead, boy.
Okay, number 4. Neurons or nerve cells orchestrate the relaying of chemical signals from one neuron to the next. A. Coordinate.
Yeah, awesome. Coordinates. Yeah, cool. Okay, we go to the next one. The next one, Michelle, would you like to answer that one?
Okay. Digital computer program can show simulation of how large group of nerve cells operate so that scientists don't have to use live cells. A substitution, yeah. A miss.
The answer is B's.
Oh, B.
Yeah, imitation. So the computer programs, they can show imitations of how large groups of nerve cells operate. They have imitations. Thank you, Michelle. Clara.
Anjir, tangan.
Wow. 6. Oxytocin is a molecule found in mammals that causes changes in the affective domain. For example, it contributes to the bond between parents and children and increases feelings of trust between people. Affective is A, emotional.
Yeah, very good. Yes, awesome. 7? Anyone? Amil.
Hello, can you hear me, Miss Sylvie?
Yes?
Okay. Wait. 7. Experiments done in several countries have validated the notion that when oxytocin floods the brain, most people feel empathy for others. This is now an accepted view in scientific research. Validated means be confirmed.
Yes, validated means confirmed. Very well. Yeah, good job. Okay, we go to the next one. Number 8. Okay, Lau?
Though the public is skeptical, most scientists seem to agree that human beings, as well as some animals, have a biological basis for moral behavior. And skeptical has a synonym with doubtful.
Yep, doubtful. You're not really sure. Yep. Number 9, someone else. Or pick someone that might be good too, yeah. Fanya, are you here, Fanya? Fanya, can you do number 9? No, Fanya? Livia? Livia? No? Okay, what about Ofi? Andy, okay, Andy.
Scientific discoveries need to be verified, and until that happens, people should not go overboard about their significance or assume their absolute truth. B. Exaggerate.
Exaggerate. Wow, well done. Exaggerating is it's berlebihan, yeah, something like that. Okay, cool. Last one, number 10. Okay, Lyle, go ahead.
Once findings have been confirmed, universities and other scientific institutions began transmitting the results of the research to colleagues and students. And transmitting has the same meaning with spreading.
Spreading, exactly. Okay, cool. Hey, for everybody else, please try to answer something, yeah? So at least you get to practice your speaking as well. Okay, that leads us, before we continue, any questions on the vocabulary? Is this something still difficult?
Clear, Miss.
Yes? What is it, Clara?
It's all clear for me.
Oh, okay. Punya terkutuk ya, punya aku. Aduh. Hey guys, there's something else, you know, what came to mind is that it's super important with all the activities that I also made for your ebook, for your post-study, that you really carefully read the instructions. For the ebooks, I made some changes in the questions, so there will only be some kind of multiple choice. It's not all the same type of multiple choice, but it's all a ticking system, let's say it like that. But for your unit test, there are also open questions, and you have to be very careful in when you answer. Yeah, so please always read the instructions correctly. If you don't, if you make a spelling mistake, then it's counted wrong. If you do your punctuation wrong, it's counted wrong. You know, so it's very important that, especially in grade 12, that you really pay notice to instructions, not only to the question, but also the instructions, yeah? And that your writing should be accurate. Also for your journal, you have to start with a capital letter, you have to use punctuation, you have to have your spelling correct. You can Google it, right? You can look it up. So make sure that you're precise with your writing, okay? Cool. Now, as we go into previewing, what does it mean to put yourself in another person's shoes? Basically, before you answer that, who can tell me what is previewing? What is previewing? I'm gonna spin my wheel of fortune. Okay, I'm gonna ask Rio. Rio, what's previewing? Guys, if you don't, those who don't answer, there's no response. I'm going to put down your names though, yeah? Because I cannot see you right now, so I'd like you to respond. Even if you don't know the answer, you can just say, Miss Sylvia, I'm confused, or I don't know, I forgot. That's no problem, but at least you respond, okay? Okay, let me ask someone else. Albert? Albert? No? Okay, what about Feline?
Yes, Miss.
Hi, Feline. Can you tell me
Hi,
in your own
Miss.
words what previewing is?
Previewing is like we set our skimming a text before reading.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Feline. So you're basically really trying to figure out what the text is like. So when you're doing previewing, what happens is that you focus on looking at what type of text it is. So is it an article? Is it a letter? Is it an essay? And then you will figure out what the purpose is, right? Like, is it to inform? Is it to persuade? What is it like? Now, by previewing, remember, guys, that you always look at the title and the subheadings, yeah? And then you can make a prediction of what it will be like. And some students think that that is overrated. Like, why would I do that? It's not important, but it is, because it's just that little bit of time that you give your brain to really grasp the right focus. Then once you start skimming, you really pick it up really fast because your focus is already there. If you don't create the right focus first, information doesn't really get absorbed straight away. So it's important to have that few seconds of previewing just to get yourself into the text, yeah? Okay, so who could tell me what you predicted or what your preview was on the number 1? What does it mean to put yourself in another person's shoes? Like, I mean, like, I do not fit my friend's shoes, okay? What does this mean? Can you take this literally or not? Putting yourself in another person's shoes. I'd like to hear from Belinda. Hi, Belinda.
Hi, Miss.
What do you think?
I think we feel what others feel.
Yeah, great. So is that can you translate this literally, or is that like an explicit meaning or an implied meaning? Can you translate that literally, like put yourself in someone else's shoes and I'll put myself in your shoes, Belinda? Can I translate it that way, or? You said just now that it shows what a person feels, right? You were saying just now. That's the correct answer. It's well stated. So what does that mean? So that has nothing to do with shoes then?
There's implicit meaning.
Yeah, thank you, Belinda. Very good. So it has nothing to do with shoes, right? So if it has nothing to do with shoes, why do we mention the shoes? Well, that's just a saying, right? If I say I put myself in your shoes, Belinda, that means that I'm trying to understand your situation. I'm trying to understand what you think, why you think that way, or why you feel a certain way. Awesome answer, Belinda. Thank you. Okay, how do you feel when you see someone cry or suffer? I'd like to hear from Gilbert.
Hello.
Hello, sir. How are you? This is. I feel like I'm being a radio host. You know, like calling up names, and I'm like not seeing you but hearing you. So funny. Okay, Gilbert, what did you answer for 2?
How I don't know. I don't know how.
It's a difficult question.
Kamu tidak punya hati.
It depends on the person.
Okay. Depends on who cries and suffers. Okay, can you tell me, Gilbert, what does empathy mean for you? What do you think it means?
Apa ya?
It has something to do with number 2. That you feel something when you see someone cry or suffer. It has something to do with number 1, putting yourself in someone else's shoes. So in your words, what do you think empathy means? We're all very patiently waiting. Is it hard to explain?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe there's someone else who would like to try to put the word empathy in your own words. No? Basically, it refers back to what Belinda explained just now about putting yourself in another person's shoes and trying to understand what someone thinks and feels. Like you have empathy means that you try to understand someone, you feel connected to someone, you can feel sorry for someone who is in a difficult position, you care, you know, that's empathy. Yeah. Okay, so the text, do mirror neurons give us empathy, yes or no? You read that and listened to that already. And we go to the next activity. Main ideas, which I also explained what main ideas are. Okay, let me ask, because we need to make sure that you guys remember all this. I want to ask Esti. Esti, what's the main idea? Esti? Esti, no? Albert? Albert, could you tell me what a main idea is? No? So sad. Okay, what about Audrey? Audrey, could you tell me what a main idea is?
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Audrey.
Main idea is like the main like the topic in a way, kind of like the most important thing out of everything.
Yeah, that's nice.
I don't know how to
Yeah,
describe it.
kind of the whole, kind of the, in one sentence, what the whole text would be about, right? Audrey, can I ask you, where do we find the main idea in the text? You look at the text or an essay, you have an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. In which part do we find the main idea?
In the introduction.
Very good. Now I ask you more specifically. Introduction, we have a hook, overview, and a thesis statement. Which part in the introduction gives the main idea?
Thesis statement.
Very good. Thesis statement. Awesome. Yes, it's the thesis statement that gives the main idea. And that main idea has a general topic and a purpose. Okay, so the general topic and the purpose itu sama dengan main idea. Very good. Thank you. Okay, now we have main points and details. So the main idea basically covers the whole text, and then we've got main points. We only have one main idea, which is in the thesis. We have several main points in each body paragraph, and each body paragraph has its own subtopic, and those several can be 2, 3, 4 main points in a body paragraph are developed by details. That's how everything is connected. Cool. Basically your previewing that you did before should have helped you to get a better focus on the text and therefore helped you to better understand. And we continue with activity 2. Read the statements and circle the 3 that represent the main ideas of reading 1. Which 3 major points are mentioned that really represent the text? Now, I'd like to ask that to Shani. Shani?
Yes, Miss Sophie.
Hi, good morning. Can you answer that one? Which 3 points represent the text? Between 1 and 5, there are 3. Maybe you can mention one. Which one? Can you come up with one? You rather pass?
Yeah.
Okay, Shani. Okay. No worries. Anyone else who would like to respond? Which 3 points did you find? Which 3 points represent the main idea of this text or are correlated with the text? Anyone? Okay, I'm then gonna spin my wheel here. L, can you answer that? L?
Yes.
Hi, which ones did you come up with?
So I think the 3 words are mirror, biological, and empathy.
So which numbers are that? Number 1?
Number 1, yeah.
And then?
Oh, number 2. Okay. Number 2.
No, which ones do you think? So if you look at this statement, number 1 is correct. So mirror neurons are a biological basis for empathy, represents the text, right? There are 2 other numbers that represent the text. Which ones? So for example, number 1, that could be a main idea of the text. Now there are 2 other numbers that also could stand for a main idea. They're
okay. Number 3, I guess. Number 3. And number 5.
Yeah,
no, sorry.
Yeah, number 5 is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's number 1, number 4, and number 5. Thank you for trying.
Okay.
Well done, Elle. Okay, yeah, so it's number, if you would have read the text and you look at this and you look at the keywords, what Elle just did, which is really good, Elle looked at the keywords in the sentence. So he came up with neurons, biological, and empathy. And that's really good because those are the keywords in the sentence. Now, basically, if you would have looked at the keywords in these sentences and then would have correlated with the text, then you could have figured out that number 1, 4, and 5 are basically main ideas or points that are correlated with the text. And number 2 is not. Number 2 is true, but it's not a main idea. And number 3 is incorrect because that was not proven. So it is number 1, 4, and 5. Please check your answers to see. And if you have any questions, please let me know. We continue with the next page, which is details. So as I just stated, we have a main idea, which we always find basically in the thesis statement. And of course, a topic sentence in the body paragraph is also a main idea. Basically, the main idea in the thesis statement is the big main idea that covers the whole text. But a topic sentence in each body paragraph is a very tiny or sub-main idea that covers the material in that specific paragraph. Okay, so we have also those tiny sub-main ideas, basically. So thesis statement is the big main idea, covers the whole text. Topic sentence is a small main idea that covers only that particular paragraph. And then we, of course, have main points, and we've got details that help us develop each main point. Now, we're going to go into details here. You have to write the letter of the phrase from the box to complete each sentence. Okay, we're going to start with number 1, and I would like Jerry to answer number 1.
Kenapa, Miss?
Hi, Jer. Can you answer number 1, please? So you need to complete the sentence by picking a letter from the box. And this is, of course, reflected to the text.
Ini nyangkutnya ke teks di atas ya, Miss?
Yes, correct.
Teks di atasnya saya belum baca. Belum sempat baca. Maaf, Miss.
Okay, you're very, very honest. Thank you for your honesty. I'm trying to see if I can, how do I do this? Oh, this doesn't work. Okay. Okay, somebody else maybe who can answer? No? Okay, listen to this. Number 1, motor neurons fire when you perform an action.
F.
Yeah, thank you. When you perform an action yourself, some neurons called mirror neurons fire when you see someone else do the same thing. F. Okay, who would like to answer number 2? Andy?
They are called mirror neurons because D.
Yeah, awesome. The brain seems to reflect the movement of or feeling it sees. Yeah, good. Number 3. Lyle?
Scientists first discovered mirror neurons when they were working with monkeys in Italy.
Yeah, correct. So, Miss Sylvia, how do we know? Yeah, well, this is based on the text, right? So these are more detailed questions. Okay, so just now we talked about the main idea. You had to be able to see what is a main idea or a sub-main idea within the text. Now we're looking at details. Means that what do you do in order to get the answer to this? Again, you gotta annotate the sentences. You gotta underline the keywords in these sentences and go back to the text and scan through the text to find either the same word or a synonym for the keyword that you have underlined, and then find the complete meaning of that, and then you will see which letter is the appropriate one to put in. Okay, now we continue with number 3, 4, 3. I was confused. Read 3, right? Yeah. No, 4. Who wants to do 4? Mirror neurons have a role when you observe motor skills.
A.
Yeah. And you have affective experience. 5, when most people see someone experience pain, their mirror neurons fire, and
G.
They can feel the other person's pain. 6, mirror neurons do not tell the whole story of cultural transmission across generations because
E.
yeah,
E.
monkeys also have mirror neurons but do not transmit culture. And the last one, science makes progress as
B.
B. Researchers make errors and correct them. Very good. Thank you, guys. Awesome. Any questions about details? Details are more factual questions and they're very particular. They're smaller. If you look at a main idea, you're just looking at garis besar. Yeah, a main idea is also often related to something that is very suitable to become a title. So remember that the overall main idea, general main idea, we find in the thesis statement. Sub-main ideas we find in topic sentences. Main points we find throughout the body paragraph, and the details are those facts that describe and develop a main point, right? So in order to find a main idea, you got to go to the thesis and to the topic sentences. If you're skimming a text, you're looking for the main idea. That's why when you skim, you read the introductory paragraph, each topic sentence, and maybe a concluding paragraph. Now, to find the main points, you have to scan through the body paragraphs. And also for details, you got to scan through. Now, what you do is you annotate first, underline, circle, highlight keywords, words, either in the sentence or question, and then you scan, because you need to have a focus for your scanning, and that is mostly that particular word, that keyword or key phrase. But remember, you don't always find the same exact word fact. That's why we need to use synonyms. Yeah, we started with that just now, that often in questions and in activities they use synonyms. So it's not an exact same word, but it has the same meaning. So be careful with that. Okay, making inferences, talked about that already a whole lot with you guys. Like you're looking for the implied meaning, not for the explicit meaning. So it is not something that is stated directly, but it's not stated directly. Dig a little bit deeper under the surface to find the meaning. And what we do is we come up with facts, we combine the facts, and from there we can come up with a conclusion. And that conclusion is your answer mostly. And that's why by making inferences, what we do is we're analyzing. We're looking at things more critical. Yeah? So here it talks about the author's degree of certainty. Sometimes scientists are not always 100% sure of their findings, so they might be positively certain, somewhat certain or not certain. And from the way that they talk or the language that they use, we can infer or know how certain they are. Now, here we can see 5 examples, and then there's the reference to the paragraph, and then you had to basically figure out whether it was positively certain, somewhat certain, or not certain at all. Who would like to try the first one? Are important for social interaction, paragraph 5. Well?
I'm pretty sure it's positively certain.
It is. Yeah. And how did you find that out? How did you come to that conclusion?
I don't remember.
Okay, no worries there. Don't worry. Just asking. Well, it could be our importance, like the way it is stated already shows if we go back, but you got to go back to the paragraph though. Yeah, you can't just look at the phrase that is mentioned here. You'd have to go back to the paragraph to see how that is. Now we could take a quick look, looking at, oh, I went too far. That would be here, paragraph 5. It's numbered for you already. Now you basically would have to read through here to see how in paragraph 5, whether it shows that it is very certain, possibly certain, certain or not really certain. So you would have to go back to the paragraph in order to see. And from the language itself, you would know what kind of certainty it is. Okay. And you can see that from the language they use that is very convincing. Yeah. Now, number 2, do everything, paragraph 10. Anyone want to respond to number 2? Number 2 was not certain, so uncertain. If you look at paragraph 10, you can see that it doesn't show that the person is certain. Number 3, allow people to experience empathy for other people's pain. Yeah, is positively certain. Transmit culture, number 4, is somewhat certain. And number 5 are exaggerated in terms of importance. That's paragraphs 2 and 15. They show that it is not certain at all. So it comes here in the box. Yeah, cool. Any questions on that? Remember, guys, that for inferences, you never get that. It's not literally in the text, okay? You got to look at the facts, and from there, you got to read between the lines in order to know. Yeah, so we got to practice that a lot more. Those are your higher order thinking skill questions. Yes. Any questions so far?
Miss Sylvie?
Yep.
Is there still any tips for us to be able to be certain about this degree of certainty?
Yeah, in the sense of the certainty, it really goes back to the words that are used. So for example, if the person is very positively certain, they will make statements. They will also, in this case of research, they will use very clear research. And the way that they talk is that they will say that they have found, and that it is, and in the sentences and the words that they use, it shows that they're right and that they're convinced. But if they're somewhat certain, you will have words like it might, it could, it's probably. And if they're not certain, then they would say, well, we found this, but it is still not yet proven, or it is not yet determined. So really from the word choice and the sentences, we can see how certain they are. Let me see. Let me go back to how that was explained here. Now, here, scientists are not always 100% certain of findings. They may be positively certain, somewhat, or not certain the results. And that is then mostly also stated in how they make an example. For example, here, how certain is Professor Ramahandran about the role of mirror neurons based on what is written in the interview to determine, oh no, that doesn't say it here. Yeah, so basically, if you go back to the paragraphs, what you can see here, it is that the choice of words, the phrases, the clauses, and the sentences that are made really show it. So if, for example, you have done a research and you're not really sure, you would say, it could be, but we're not sure. It might be, it could, might. So that gives it in between. If you're positively certain, you'd say like, it has been researched and it has been proven. That is already, what do you call it in Bahasa Indonesia? Mutlak or something. It's like really, it stands really firm. And if it's not certain, then you would really say like, well, we come across to these and these points, but it's still debated. It's still not certain. So basically, from the way how it is mentioned, you would know. Yeah. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question, Clara?
Yes, Miss.
And mostly also something that is very certain is stated also with a different emphasis. If something is not certain, the emphasis are not as strong. If I, for example, believe in something and I'm certain, I would say like, okay, well, everybody, you did a great job today. I'm certain. I say, you answered correctly. But if I'm not certain, maybe I will be, I will be doubting. Maybe there's a pause in my speaking, and probably my voice is not, it doesn't go down. Like, okay, you did great. No, I expect, okay, could you, from the whole way of the way that I talk, my intonation, the emphasis that I make, the volume, the pauses, that also shows that I'm not sure. And somebody is really sure, I'm more, it's more like staccato, yeah? It's more like, okay, yes, no, and why, and the sentences are sometimes shorter, unless they develop. Something like that. So it's not only from the choice of words of sentences, but you can also sense it from the way the person expresses themselves. Yeah. Okay, awesome. But then for a text, it would be really taken from the context, and for an audio, you could hear certainty and uncertainty from how a person expresses themselves. That brings us to the point of opinion. Express an opinion, I also told you, is super important because it's a part of reasoning. You learning to reason concepts, forming your ideas on it. That's not so much as in always having to have an opinion. No, this is a part of reasoning. Being able to reason, being able to come up with a clear development for your reasoning and backing it up with evidence. Very important. Now we are going to look at number 1. In reading 1, mirror neurons are credited with allowing people who observe others participating in a particular activity to feel the pain or excitement of the participant. Could mirror neurons play a role in making people who know how to play a sport get very emotionally involved while watching a sport on TV or in a stadium? Or can you think of other times in entertainment or the arts when mirror neurons might play a role? And my question is, did anyone give an opinion on number 1? Who would like to respond to number 1? Or anyone prefers to respond to number 2 or 3? No? I'm going to pick someone then. Hooray! Okay, I'm going to ask Sarah. Sarah? Sarah?
Yes.
Hi, Sarah. I'd like you to answer and give your opinion on one of these points. You can choose number 1, number 2, or number 3. Did you answer any one of these? Did you give your opinion on any one of these? If this is hard for you, maybe can you give your opinion on, do you think empathy is important?
Yes.
Can you explain why?
Because we will know more about others' people feeling.
And why is that important? Why do you think that's important? So you said yes, empathy is important, and then you said because we know about people's feelings. Now, why is that important? What does that result in? If you know about other people's feelings, and then what? Is that it, that you just know? Or is there an effect to it or a result to it? What do you think? Bingo?
We can help other people solve their problem.
Awesome. Very good, Sarah. Thank you very much. So what you did right now is you said, yes, empathy is important. They explained, you gave a reason why it is important. You said, because then through empathy, we get to know people's feelings. And then you explained further, giving a result or how it affects. You said, by being able to know people's feelings, therefore, we are able to better help other people. Very well answered, Sarah. Thank you. So it's not only that you answered, yes, empathy is important, you gave a reason why you think it's important, and you gave a point of result or effect. Now, that is really good because in expressing opinions or in reasoning, it's important that you not only give your opinion, and then the second part is you give reasons to having that opinion, but we go one step further, as in to show also the result of it or the effect, how it affects people, or the effect it can have, how it affects or effects. Yeah. So, yeah, well, great. That is a great answer. I would like to hear from someone else, either in opinion to number 1, 2, 3, or what you think about empathy. Anyone else? Then I'd like to ask Andre. Andre?
Yes, Miss.
Hi, Andre. Nice to hear from you. Can you give me your opinion, or give me your opinion? What do you think about empathy? Is it important? Yes or no? Why?
Wait, Miss. Yeah. I think empathy is when we can feel what other people feel.
Yeah. And is that important? Yes or no?
Yes.
Can you explain why?
Because when we feel what other people feel, we can share with them, and we can help them to solve like when them have a problem.
Yeah.
we can help. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, Andre. Well done. Okay, cool, people. So to sum that up, expressing opinion is reasoning, coming up with a viewpoint, explaining that viewpoint with reasons, and showing in what it results into, or what it can affect, or how it can have an effect. Okay, now that brings us to the end of reading 1 of today. Are there any questions on any of the material for today? No? We're all cool here? Yeah? Okay, I'm gonna take a quick look with you into our Unit 1 lesson schedule. As you can see, I have updated it, so super important for you to look at this. You see that we have the column of the week and the date, and then here we have the middle column is for the Zoom meetings, the ones that we do, and anything that comes before the Zoom meeting is a pre-study, which is always the video of the material and the textbook. And then everything that comes after the Zoom meeting, that is called post-study. And that is, those are the summaries of the material, the summary of the material and the activities in your ebook. So your pre-study is video and textbook. Zoom meeting is the review of the material. And then you got your post-study, which is your ebook has the summary of the material and the activities. So basically you studied every material 3 times. So that's kind of cool. Or not. That depends on you. Okay, so now if you look here at this week, we're here at week 3, the 3rd of August to the 7th. Then you can see that today's focus for Zoom was reading 1. Means also that you are at step 3 for your project. Means that this week you need to focus on researching, doing a research for your essay. Last week was the research for your speaking test. This week, the focus is the research for your writing. So even your the planning for your project is already planned out. If you have your own planning, go ahead, no problem. But I just gave an example of planning how you can pace through your time and doing your project. Means also when we look at our post-study for this week, that means starting after today up till the next Zoom meeting next week. Your post study, you will do the activities of reading, section 1. So in your ebook, the ebook for reading and writing is R&W, yeah? You will look at section reading 1, and it has one activity, and that's the one you will do. And for this week also, you will do the pre-study, which is for the next week's Zoom meeting. You will watch the video of listening to and do the activities in your textbook for listening and speaking. Yeah, so please, if you're confused like Miss Sylvia, I don't know what to do, what is my focus? Guys, your Unit 1 schedule is already top-notch, okay? It's clear. Just go to every week and just look at what your focus is for your Zoom meeting, your pre-study, your post-study. You know exactly what you need to do. And all these needs to be done in that week. All of this needs to be done in this week, okay? Now, and then if you want to know clear dates, now here you see the 7th of September till the 11th of September. Here it's all written down what needs to be uploaded. So by the week of the 7th of September, I want to see that everybody has finished the ebook. But it is smarter to pace like how I have told you to pace. So you don't have to do everything at once in the end. Okay? Is that clear? Cool beans. Then I'm going to wrap up this meeting. Thank you for joining. Have a great day. God bless you. And for our Ketua class, please don't forget to wait. Give me 1 sec. Give me a notification. Wait. Give me a notification of who was late today. Okay? Okay, if you still have any questions, you can contact me through WhatsApp, yeah? God bless you, and I'll see you again next week. Take care. Bye-bye.